the Melo angle, it all makes sense now. He will be I guess he'll be the third richest Grizzly. I guess Marc Gasol. Who has more money, Marc Gasol or Joakim? I guess Marc Gasol has more money. He signed a bigger contract a few years ago.
I mean, Mike Conley has more money than either of those guys, right?
Has more money. Conley has the most, and he puts it mainly into his wardrobe. And then there's Chandler Parsons. There's a lot of really rich Memphis Grizzlies.
The other idea I had is maybe Joakim Noah wants to learn the blues.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Doesn't that make sense? He seems like he would be like a blues man.
I mean, my hope is it turns out they're bringing him in for, it turns out, not a roster spot. They give him some kind of training staff role or front office role. I don't understand. The guy hasn't played basketball in 2 years. He hasn't provided anything on the court. I don't know why the Grizzlies would give him a guaranteed contract to have 15, this be your last roster spot on a guy who has no upside and I think is very much unneeded. He's worse than Ivan Rabb. I'm certain he's worse than Ivan Rabb. So, yeah.
Is he though? I mean, he might not be. It's possible. Look, I think he was really hurt with the Knicks, and it's possible those 2 years off have, I mean, he can maybe give you 15 minutes, right?
I understand needing a big because
they do need a big.
Gasol's going to miss some games, but I don't know if they do. Like, JaMychal Green came back from injury. All your center minutes should go to Marc Gasol, Jaren Jackson Jr., or JaMychal Green, or Ivan Rabb, who's also better than Joakim Noah. So I don't understand. I really I'm actually at a loss. Like I like to think that my Grizzlies hot take is they don't need JaMychal Green anymore. Him getting hurt, I thought was a great thing for the Grizzlies. Sorry, JaMychal, but that forced JB Bickerstaff to start Jaren Jackson Jr., give him more minutes. That forced Kyle Anderson to play more minutes in the 4. That forced Omri Caspi to get on the court. All those things are very, very good, in my opinion. When JaMychal Green comes back, I'm like, oh, well, now Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to play less.
Isn't Caspi hurt now, though?
He was hurt. He came back. He played the last game against the Timberwolves. Like, he is, again, I know it's a small sample size. He's their net rating leader by a ton. Caspi does.
He nutmegged a guy too.
Oh, and he did. He also did the Sham God. He got hurt doing the Sham God on somebody. But like this guy
getting hurt doing the Sham God, I think, is the second coolest way to get hurt in basketball. The first is doing the Sam Cassell big balls dance after hitting a game winner.
Most definitely. JaMychal Green, they don't need him. His salary's expiring, so he needs to be traded for somebody. But again, I don't see how bringing in Joakim Noah makes it easier to trade him or why you would need him. Just get a random big guy out of the G League. Get Willie Reed. Free Willie Reed. He's tearing up the G League. I'm sad about Joakim Noah possibly joining the Grizzlies. It just seems ridiculous. Especially if they're up against the salary, the luxury tax. Like they are right up against the luxury tax, and giving him a guaranteed salary just seems bizarre to have. I mean, I guess it's another guy who can pick up the check at dinner along with Parsons.
Yeah.
Like, my bad, guys, I can't play, but, I got this.
I'm telling you, Chandler just needs somebody to party with. That's all this is about.
Well,
watch out underage women in Memphis. Chandler and Joakim are on the prowl.
Does Joakim have a history of...
No.
Okay.
No.
Instagram stalking?
It was a funny thing to say.
Fair. All right, let's turn it to your favorite team, though. I guess we should talk about it. You brought it up, so it is something, I guess, in the consciousness of NBA fans. The Warriors stink without Steph Curry.
Yeah.
We've always known
that's
this.
Not new.
Right.
That's the thing. The funny thing is the Draymond Durant scuffle, I guess we'll call it, kerfluffle, whatever, happened the first game Steph Curry was gone, and it was just so hilariously ironic and indicative of what happens to them every time Steph Curry gets hurt, where it's just like they can't play without him. Like they're 22-22 without Steph Curry in the Steve Kerr era, and they're like 429 and 22 or something with him.
I can't get over those numbers. I had listened to Max Kellerman on the Low Post, which I keep talking about because I really enjoyed it. But Kellerman was like laying it on Zach Lowe about the Steph is better than Durant argument. It is ridiculous because Steph has actually shrunk from the spotlight a little bit in those finals. Even though I am a Steph deserves multiple finals MVPs. That's one of the things that I argue. And I've always argued that Steph is more important than Kevin Durant. But then Kellerman was saying how, like Durant has never kind of backed down from the limelight, and he seems to get better and better when he gets in the finals games. And I was like, all right, you've convinced me, Mr. Broadcaster, Max Kellerman. But these stats, like the Warriors, whenever Durant is off the court and Steph's on the court, I think it's like their net rating is plus 15, and whenever Steph is off and Durant's on, it's only like plus 2. Why isn't Kevin Durant better with this team? What's wrong with Klay Thompson? Why can't this team do more?
I can tell you actually why this is. It's the Warriors hilariously don't have very many guys who can actually dribble. If you really go through their roster, like Klay Thompson can dribble like twice, but if he dribbles more than twice, it's kind of a problem. Durant can dribble, Draymond can dribble, and Steph can dribble. And occasionally, if he's trying, so only in the playoffs, Andre Iguodala can also dribble. But everyone else on the team just cannot handle the ball. So if you don't have Steph Curry, you're in real trouble.
Is this slump going to? I mean, it's a slump, right? They lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, they just went. Oh no, more. I think they just went 0-5 on their road trip, I believe.
Oh, they did. That seems.
Yeah, they lost all the Texas Triangle games plus the Clipper game. Maybe it was 0-4.
Yeah, let's see. All right, yeah, they've lost 3 in a row. They lost 4 of 5, 5 of 7. Yeah, not great. Is this strengthening Pat McCaw's negotiating position?
No. I think what they're doing though is, look, this year started with Steph Curry really saying he wanted to win the MVP. Yeah. And really coming out and putting on like a real MVP showcase. This is just strengthening that.
Oh, they're tanking for Curry's MVP narrative.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think is happening here. Yeah.
What's going on with Klay? I think one of the fun mental exercises that NBA fans like to do is like, what if Klay had his own team? What if Klay was the primary option?
You're looking at it.
He's Nuggets J.R. Smith. That's what it is.
Kinda. I mean, except Nuggets J.R. Smith like could dunk really hard on people.
Right, and he hit threes every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, Klay kind of does this. He'll slump for like a month, and then it'll be like, oh, and then he'll have a month where he shoots like 80% from 3 or whatever.
Yeah, he's now at, if you throw out
where he hit
14 3-pointer game against the Bulls, do you know what he's shooting? Or maybe would you hazard a guess?
It's like 28% or something like that.
26.5% if you throw if you throw out. Even if you include that 14 3-pointer game, he's 32%, which is like 122nd among the 148 guys who have qualified. He's still ahead of Durant, who is beneath him, and slightly ahead of Ish Smith. So,
Oh, good. Anytime you can have shooters better than Ish Smith on your basketball team, you're in good shape.
Yeah, he's no Trae Young, who's firmly embedded, I guess, as the caboose, shooting 24% of all 3-pointers. So you're not. I mean, obviously you guys can't worry, but the Warriors seem to have no depth and not very much wing play. So
I mean, like, it's hard to worry when it's like, I mean, in a few months they'll be playing DeMarcus Cousins, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like not to sound like arrogant about it or whatever, but it just feels like, DeMarcus Cousins hasn't played yet.
What's the number of possessions where Kevin Durant claps his hands for the basketball and then ends up not crossing half court because DeMarcus Cousins and or Draymond Green has the basketball?
I mean, I don't know if that will happen again because of the the little tantrum he threw.
Oh, they worked it out. Joe Lacob came down and was like, "Listen, guys,
yeah, Joe Lacob came
you got to
down
pass the ball to Durant
because I want Kevin Durant to be the star of my new arena."
That's right.
So, and I will throw any and all of you under the bus to do it, including Stephen Curry.
Yeah, we're going to I need Kevin Durant to move these real estate units that are not going to move themselves behind Draymond Green. I don't know. Like I'm excited. I'm excited as an NBA fan that that there is this drama. I mean, we knew we were going to have drama with the Warriors. When the season started and Steph was on fire, it was like, they're playing for real. Like they're trying to win one for Boogie. But now at least I'm glad to see they've fallen apart, and I do look forward to the attitude of Boogie being added to the mixture.
It's funny to watch when they were in that argument. Boogie and Klay Thompson were like the main peacemakers, and that seems like trouble, I'm going to say, when those are the two guys like, hey, everybody calm down. Because Klay Thompson doesn't normally speak because he's thinking about his bulldog or whatever. And DeMarcus Cousins is historically the one yelling at people. So...
Well, right now the Warriors are a mere half game up on my Memphis Grizzlies. They're tied in the standings with the Portland Trailblazers. Also at the top of the Western Conference, we have the LA Clippers. I think I actually sold myself short. One of my predictions I made in the preseason, which looks good so far, was I guaranteed that one of the Grizzlies, Clippers, or Mavericks would win 40 games. They're like it's like. The Clippers and Grizzlies are looking real good, and the Mavericks even winners of 4 straight ahead of a showdown with the Grizzlies.
Even though even though they all hate DeAndre Jordan, apparently.
Right? Oh yeah, DeAndre has that leftover Clippers whatever stank. He couldn't. The interpersonal dynamics he learned on the Clippers are not serving him real well.
Yeah, it seems like that has been the case for most people who've left that Clippers team.
Right.
Case in point, Austin Rivers and the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, so the Wizards announced today, like the report came out that they're willing to maybe move Wall or Beal. I don't know how you move John Wall. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks on our show. There's no one to trade him with. Like you have to. I thought their best chance was to try to trade him for Jimmy Butler. Or to offer him to Tom Thibodeau, the one guy who might accept him. But that guy, he doesn't fit with anybody. And his making $46 million in a few years per year, that would hamper me making any move whatsoever. Can you imagine anything that makes sense for moving John Wall?
I mean, I think there are some teams that would do it. Like, I think the Magic would do it, right?
Yeah, they'd kill the franchise. I agree.
I think the Kings would do it, even though they have De'Aaron Fox. I think, Vivek is just so thirsty. I mean, I think he'd probably do it.
Yeah, Vivek is as long as they promise to play Marvin Bagley more, they'd accept.
Yeah,
they'd accept John Wall. That'd be amazing. Like De'Aaron Fox, clearly the Kings' best player and looking amazing if they brought in John Wall. I mean, it seems like wouldn't this be a Pat Riley move? Pat Riley thinking,
well, that's it. Yeah.
Like, I can do it. That
makes sense.
I'll give you Kelly Olynyk, Dion Waiters, or Joe Johnson, whatever. I'll take on that albatross of a salary.
John Wall has always felt like a future Sun to me, too.
I mean, the Suns are the one. I don't even know if they can do it anymore. They messed up by waiving Tyson Chandler. I mean,
they have that Ariza contract, so that's halfway there. It is
halfway there. You could throw in a TJ Warren, although he's like their only good player.
Except he's TJ Warren is Antoine Jameson, basically. He's like new Antoine Jameson. Like, I think TJ Warren is expendable. He's like TJ Warren averaging 20 points a game last year is like when I saw that I was like, oh, that's a thing I'm going to get wrong in like a sports trivia game like 20 years from now.
So I was trying to look for the Suns salary cap figures. I Googled Suns salaries and up came some weird thing showing like personnel salaries, like graphic designer salaries. $37,000. That ain't right.
No.
NBA teams pay your guys more. I don't know if that can be true. That is terrible.
Well, to be fair, that Suns graphic